Good morning. It is Tuesday, March 25th. Here's what we're working on today. Hamilton police have made an arrest in one of the city's latest murders.
The St. Lawrence Seaway celebrates its 67th navigation season.
And a new Netflix documentary revisits a deadly tornado. Good morning to you and to you. Brian, look who's back after a long weekend.
Yes, an extended weekend.
Yes, very nice.
Great to be back, feeling very refreshed.
Good.
And great to be here with you this morning.
Suntanned.
Yeah, just a little bit,
Steph in makeup had a little extra work to do.
Yeah, I kind of cut the line. Brian always goes first. I'm usually the last one. I had to cut the line today just to give Steph a little bit more time.
And matching.
Yeah.
Matching time. Matching that foundation.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, good. Yeah, she took that down a little bit on the roof there. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I was lucky to get some sun. What was happening here this past weekend? Because I looked ahead. I was trying to explain to people it's going to be cold this week, though.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Let's cast our mind back to the weekend.
Yesterday morning we had snow.
Yeah,
Yes.
we did. Yeah, we had some snow yesterday morning. We could get more flurries today. So yeah, we're still not out of that winter, spring, what are we going to do today mode because it really hasn't made up its mind yet. So what we're going to get today is some flurries, maybe cycling over into some showers later on this afternoon. We will hit the plus side. We got to 5 yesterday. We're going to hit 4 for the day today. We're sitting on the freezing mark right now at 0. So it's a mainly cloudy sky. We're not looking at a lot of sunshine for the day today, but yeah, some mixing precipitation is possible for the day. We'll talk about that coming up. Traffic, see how we're doing so far. Not a problem that I've noticed on any of our cameras. That's the 403 and Waterdown Road. That's our exclusive camera. There's still some lingering construction in some areas. Here's some MTO traffic cameras. Here's the top of the Burlington Skyway Bridge. Toronto-bound lanes heading away from us down toward North Shore Boulevard. Now, last check on this, it was really slow a little while ago, but it's picking up a bit here at Fairview Street, and by the time we get to Burloak, not too bad at all. So no collisions, no volume, nothing really going on. We'll look at weather and traffic in detail coming up in a few minutes. Right now, the news.
Okay, thanks very much, Brian. Well, a 55-year-old man from Brantford is dead after a crash on Highway 5 in Dundas. He was driving a delivery truck that collided with a tractor-trailer hauling gravel. The crash around 9:30 yesterday morning shut down traffic completely on Highway 5 between Millgrove Road and Rock Chapel Road for most of the day. The OPP say the driver of the delivery truck was ejected from his vehicle.
An update on one of Hamilton's latest homicides. Police say they have arrested the man believed to be responsible for stabbing 74-year-old Charles Jacques Jouvas just a week ago.
During the occurrence, 911 was called. Police arrived. There was an interaction between officers and the accused. That portion of this is under SIU investigation currently, so we can't really talk too much about that. But I can tell you that the accused will be standing before court tomorrow.
The accused is 30-year-old David Gomez Rodriguez, and he was arrested yesterday in Hamilton and charged with second-degree murder. He had been shot by police after the stabbing on March 16th when officers found him just inside Juventus' building. Police say it appears the two men were not known to each other. Ontario's police watchdog, the Special Investigations Unit, is now investigating the police shooting, saying officers found Gomez Rodriguez with an edged weapon and one of the officers shot him.
Businesses on Hamilton's James Street North say they're seeing an increase in crime and a decrease in public safety. A lot of the business owners are pointing to the Cathedral Cafe, a church on the street that offers free meals to the homeless. The church serves about 150 people a day with the help of St. Matthew's House and the City of Hamilton. And while some business owners on James Street North say they understand the need for programs like that, they also say they've noticed a change since it opened a few years ago.
Causing quite a bit of problems for us on the street with drugs, broken windows, graffiti, and it's not a nice look about it.
I think there's a lot of people who They're frustrated, they're upset, and they see programs like this as bringing unhoused people to the area. We believe that we are here because there's unhoused people in the area. So there's kind of a chicken and egg thing.
Now, dozens of small business owners gathered last night to share their concerns with program leaders and their Hamilton City Councillor, Cameron Kretsch.
What I heard tonight from people was that they've tried to find solutions. They've tried to work with police to find solutions here. They're not always finding that they're hearing back right away. They're not always seeing that they get the services they're asking for from police. That's one thing I heard tonight. I also heard that they're expecting more from St. Matthew's House. So even though St. Matthew's House is really only able to help with issues that are on the cathedral property, they want to see them doing more, trying to mitigate these issues more, and seeing St. Matthew's House step up.
Councillor Kretsch says he's also open to facilitating conversations between business owners and Hamilton Police, and he raised the idea of forming a James North BIA. The St. Lawrence Seaway is going to celebrate its 67th navigation season with an opening ceremony today, but this celebration comes during uncertain times as the trade war continues with the United States. Simone Gavros joins us from the Welland Canal in St. Catharines with more. Good morning.
Good morning, Annette. Well, the 2025 navigation season started officially on Saturday morning, but this ceremony here in St. Catharines is just going to mark the 67th year itself, but it also starts a very uncertain time that we're seeing on both sides of the border. And you can also see here that there's already a ship that is docked here, so this season is already starting off. Now, the binational St. Lawrence Seaway in the Great Lakes itself have 15 locks. That is made up between 13 Canadian and 2 American. It currently serves as a key supply chain and supports over $66 billion in economic activity in Canada, along with over 300,000 jobs. The 2024 navigation season last year saw about 37 million tons of goods shipped via the Seaway, including grain, potash, and steel. The 295-day season was the longest planned season in history. Now, the Hamilton-Oshawa Port Authority in Hamilton has been preparing for the opening of the Seaway as well by making sure that's up to date. The ports see about 600 to 700 ships per year importing and exporting a number of commodities, including steel, fertilizer, grain, and construction material. Larissa Fern with HOPA says the consistent uncertainty of this trade war is currently a real issue.
In all, the commodities that pass through our ports are connected to about 40,000 jobs in the province of Ontario. So it's a big potential impact, and all of those downstream businesses do have export considerations. A lot of them have business in the U.S. So we are very much in a role of trying to support those supply chains, make sure they're efficient, and help those folks adapt as necessary and as possible.
Later this morning, I'll be speaking with the president of the St. Lawrence Seaway system for more about what they're expecting to see this year, and that'll be ahead of the opening ceremony that starts at 10 a.m. Louis, back over to you.
All right, thanks, Simone. Time of the morning where we look at sports, and let's start in the NBA, where the Toronto Raptors were looking to snap a 4-game losing streak. They were in action taking on the league worst Washington Wizards last night, and this one wasn't pretty.
So it's about having the ball in the right people's hands when it's time to take those shots.
Abaji's shot doesn't go. On the inside, here's Robinson. Robinson denied by Sarr. The recovery denied again. Sarr changing it all on the inside.
This game was pretty much unwatchable at some point as both teams struggled to find any rhythm. The Wizards hosting a block party, including 7 in the second quarter alone. However, the Raptors would eventually pull away in the second half, despite resting most of their starters down the stretch. They snapped their losing streak with a 112-104 win. They're back in action tomorrow night when they take on the Nets in Brooklyn. Sticking with basketball, one of the best to ever play wheelchair basketball in Canada is calling it a career after 4 decades on the court. Patrick Anderson, who has been called the Michael Jordan of wheelchair basketball, has announced his retirement. The 45-year-old from nearby Fergus, Ontario, led the Canadian men's wheelchair basketball team to 3 Paralympic gold medals and a silver over his career. He goes out on a high after scoring 31 points and adding 11 rebounds in Canada's loss to Germany Germany in the bronze medal game at the Paris Paralympics. Anderson is now helping Canada's next generation of basketball players as a skills coach, and he intends to launch a wheelchair basketball program in his hometown of Fergus.
Up, took it away. More great defense from the Trojans, and Watkins goes down hard, and she's grabbing her right knee, quickly grimacing in pain.
In women's March Madness action last night, the top-seeded USC Trojans were dealt a huge blow, losing star Juju Watkins to a season-ending injury early on in their game versus Mississippi State last night. A team spokesperson says Watkins will undergo surgery and then begin rehabilitation. ESPN reporting she suffered a torn ACL. Watkins, one of the biggest stars in women's basketball, had averaged more than 24 points per game this season for the University of Southern California, who would go on to crush the Bulldogs 96-59 to advance to the Sweet 16. Turning our attention to hockey now, where if the playoffs started today, 5 of the 7 Canadian teams would make the postseason. Meanwhile, the Canucks would love to make that 6. They're currently just on the cusp. They were taking on the Devils in New Jersey last night. Jonathan Lecker-Mackey had the winner in the 4th round of a shootout to lift visiting Vancouver to a 4-3 come-from-behind win over the Devils. Lecker-Mackey also scored in regulation, while Pius Suter and Connor Garland each chipped in for Vancouver. The win moved the Canucks within 3 points of the St. Louis Blues for the final wildcard spot in the Western Conference. And a little soccer news where Toronto FC has signed 15-year-old Jamari Nolan to its reserve team. The Jamaican youth international forward is the youngest player to sign an MLS Next Pro contract with Toronto FC 2. Technical director Sean Rubio calls Nolan an exciting young talent and a dynamic attacking player. In February, Nolan scored 3 goals for Jamaica in 3 appearances at the CONCACAF U17 Championship in Guatemala.
Hey, it's 12 minutes after 6 o'clock already. 25th morning of March. Yeah, let's get into this Tuesday. We'll start with traffic, and then we'll get to the forecast for the day today. Traffic, 403 Waterdown Road hasn't changed at all. Still pretty light volume all the way around Hamilton. No problems. Link, Red Hill Valley Parkway doing okay. Let's check some MTO traffic cameras. St. Catharines, first of all. QEW to Ontario Street. Pretty light volume. I love using this camera. It reminds me of watching TV in the 50s. It's our for some reason, it's our black and white camera. Here's the, you don't remember the 50s? Oh, okay, never mind. Then let's move on to the QEW in Fairview Street. Looks good there. It's not as busy as it was actually earlier. The Ford plant, nothing going on all the way through Cawthra. Looks pretty good at the moment. Let's check the temperature that we have right now as we get to our graphics here. +1. Yeah, we've moved up a degree this hour, so we're on the mild side to start the morning. Winds are picking up a little bit. Southwest 21 to 32. And we do have a mostly cloudy sky for the morning here. So for school today, heading off, we're looking at cloudy skies, mixing precipitation. Now, when I say that, we could get some flurries this morning, and then we could even get some showers later on this afternoon, and it could be mixed at times like we had yesterday, but we'll have a +4 degree high for the day. We've got a low pressure system still to the north. It's going to be troughing back into southern Ontario, giving us that little bit of precipitation, and temperature dependent will be whether it's flurries or getting some showers like this afternoon. Flurries again tonight, and then possible flurries during the day tomorrow, because tomorrow is going to be chillier. Today, 4 degrees to 5 degrees generally. There's that chance of flurries for Cayuga-Simcoe. Otherwise, we're looking at chance of showers for this afternoon. Tonight, -1 to -3 Niagara, -3 to -4 for the rest of the Horseshoe. Then you factor in the winds. It's going to feel like -7, so it'll be a cold night. And then tomorrow, temperature really struggles. 1 and 3 for Niagara, 2 for the rest of the Horseshoe. That's all we'll get to. Way shy of seasonal. Little bit of sun for the day tomorrow. Otherwise, we have chance of flurries. So out the door. 25th of March, temperature now +1. That's on the mild side to start today, and we have a mostly cloudy sky. And of course, we'll check the long-range forecast coming up. Annette, Louis.
Okay, we're also going to check in with Emily Vukovic after the break with a preview of what's to come in Chit Chat. And lawyers for Hudson's Bay Company say more stores may be saved from closure. 6:17, almost. And we're chatting with Emily Vukovic.
Hi, guys.
Hey.
Hi. We're going to be talking about a new Netflix documentary film, and it revisits the devastating 2011 Joplin tornado. Trailer, and it made my heart stop.
Oh,
so we will discuss. Jennifer Coolidge is thanking the White Lotus on changing her dating life.
I just love
her. Isn't she the best? So we talk about her and how she feels about dating in her 60s.
Good for her.
I know. And Disney's Only Murders in the Building is adding a huge star that I know Annette loves to the roster.
How can you possibly add more people to that show?
This is a good one. And I'm like, well, how come they haven't added this person before?
It kind of makes sense.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Looking forward to that.
Okay, thanks very much. Well, the Canadian dollar in overseas trading this morning is down 3 basis points to 69.81 cents U.S. Gold is up almost $10 an ounce. Crude oil is up a quarter to $69.35 a barrel. Midday trading in Europe and markets are up across the board. London, Frankfurt, and Paris.
Over in Asia, markets were up in Tokyo, a huge drop in Hong Kong and Shanghai. And in North American markets, huge gains across the board as the TSX went up 335 points, the Dow gained 597, and the NASDAQ added just over 400 points.
Lawyers for Hudson's Bay say more stores could be saved from closure or added to the list. It all depends on how the next few weeks of liquidation go. Canada's oldest company has started liquidating all but 6 of its 80 department stores, plus all of its Saks Off 5th and Saks Fifth Avenue shops. But not of all of the department store brands are participating. Athleisure company After Nines, for example, is one of several companies who took back their inventory last week.
Oddburger is suspending its expansion plan into the U.S. due to tariffs worsening trade relations between the U.S. and Canada. The Canadian company, which had said earlier this month it will invest $2 million into the U.S., now plans to use the capital to bolster its Canadian manufacturing and franchise operations. The vegan fast food restaurant chain says it aims to help Canadian businesses transition to locally made plant-based products and sees significant growth opportunity in supporting the Canadian market.
Canada's telecommunications companies don't expect to be hit hard by the trade war with the United States. However, they could face other economic challenges that would limit their ability to attract new customers, especially early this year. A Desjardins report says that a significant slowdown in immigration could impact new subscribers in the first quarter. The report comes after a Montreal conference last week, which included presentations from Bell Canada's parent company, BCE, also TELUS, Quebecor, and Cogeco.
President Trump announced yesterday that he will impose a 25% tariff on goods from any country that buys oil or gas from Venezuela. Trump said the South American nation has been very hostile towards the U.S. He claimed without evidence that Venezuela has purposely sent criminals into the U.S. This comes after reports Trump will delay prior duties that he announced. Those duties were set to take effect April 2nd, the same day Trump said he'll announce a number of reciprocal tariffs on other nations. Venezuela was one of the top foreign suppliers of oil to the U.S. last year, but Venezuela trails far behind America's top source of foreign oil, which is Canada. Meanwhile, Trump is boasting that tariffs have started to bring manufacturing jobs back to the states. Hyundai announced at the White House that it's building a $5.8 billion steel plant in Louisiana. It's expected to create 1,400 jobs. The steel plant is part of a $20 billion investment by the South Korean automaker. The announcement comes as Trump threatens to impose reciprocal tariffs on several countries April 2nd, potentially targeting South Korea, which has a very large trade surplus with the U.S.
Okay, we're going to take a break right now. Brian's back with your traffic and your 7-day forecast. We'll find out when it's going to warm up.
Good morning. It's the 25th morning of March. At least we don't have any snow this morning like we did yesterday morning. 6:24 is the time. Checking the QEW at Niagara Street in St. Catharines. It's light volume as usual. Starting to build here, top of the Burlington Skyway Bridge, Toronto bound toward North Shore Boulevard. Getting busier now. Nothing east of Burloak. We've got a vehicle off to the side, Niagara bound, way in the distance there. You can see the four-ways are flashing, but it's off to the side. It's a visual distraction at best. And here's a look at the 403. 407 split going through Mississauga. Nothing happening there. Temperatures, they've climbed a little bit this hour from last hour. A degree anyhow, we'll take it. +1 Hamilton, Mississauga, 2 Grimsby into Toronto. Seasonals for this time of year are -3 for the overnight low, so it's a milder start to our morning, and 6 for the daytime high. We didn't get there yesterday. We won't get there today. We won't get there again tomorrow, unfortunately. Those are our sun times and our records for today. So today, we could get some flurries this morning, and then chance of some mixing, some wet flurries, some showers later on today as we go from 0 this morning at 9 to about 4 later on this afternoon. So look at the temperatures. Today, 4 degrees, that's all with that mixing. -3 overnight, wind chill of -7 tonight. Tomorrow will only hit 2 degrees, so we'll get a little bit of sun, but some flurries. Sun at least will climb to seasonal on Thursday, because after that it's down again. Showers and 5 on Friday. Saturday and Sunday, both days, there's a risk of some freezing rain, freezing drizzle, but showers and chilly temperatures and for the around the Bay Road race, and then cloudy showers and 6 for Monday. That's your forecast. Annette, Louis.
Okay.
All right, well, here's a beautiful sign of spring. Japan's official cherry blossom spotters have confirmed the first blooms.
This marks the start of a huge festival. An official from the Japan Meteorological Agency examined a specimen tree at Tokyo's Yasukuni Shrine and reported more than 5 blossoms. That is the minimum that's needed for the announcement. Cherry blossoms usually reach their peak in late March to early April in Japan, just as the country celebrates the start of a new school and business year. Now, here in Ontario, we're going to have to wait, of course, a little bit longer. So our peak season is usually between late April and early May.
Okay, all right. Well, it was a little sad flying into Buffalo, where it was a little gray last night when I flew in. So yeah, lots of green where I came from, lots of gray here, but of course spring right around the corner. Right around the corner.
Unless we look at Brian's. How big is that corner, though? We'll check in with Brian's forecast right after the break and the rest of the news.